It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl today. 6 outstanding elementary students playing our game. Let's meet them now. First from Glenarden Woods Elementary School, please say hello to Rachel Ma, Clifford Fields, and Iyad Camille. And from Rogers Heights Elementary School, here they are, Cindy Barahona, Adrian Simango, and Uzio Malia. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty. The easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points. Tougher ones worth 15, 20, ultimately 25. Toughest of them all. We start our teams out at 50 points apiece. No penalties for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds, one of these 2 great teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance on to this year's elementary school semifinals. So we have a lot at stake. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team. And Clifford, would you try that buzzer? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Rachel, and to Iyad. And Adrian, would you try the green team buzzer? It too looks to be in fine shape. Good luck to you, to Uzio, and to Cindy. Are we ready? Yes. Let's do this. Let's have some enthusiasm. Let's have a great game. We go alphabetically G before R. So Glenarden Woods, let's play the Science Bowl. Clifford, start us out.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, the reason why it is so gray in the Washington area in the winter is because this plant pigment has largely disappeared. Glenarden Woods.
Chloroplast.
Chloroplast or chlorophyll, absolutely right. The loss of all that with the fall leaves means much of our color is gone. Yes, good answer. Go red.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, not only do they bite, they bark, these terrifying fish that live in the Amazon River in South America. Glenarden Woods.
A piranha?
The piranhas, that's right. Reputedly, they can reduce a cow to nothing in just a couple of minutes. They're bad fish. Bad fish. All right, go again, red.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, if you would, for this question. Teams, the cuckoo is a strange bird. The mother cuckoo lays her eggs in other birds' nests, and then another mother has to raise her young. She, like leeches and tapeworms, therefore, has what kind of lifestyle? Glenarden Woods.
A symbiosis lifestyle?
Specifically, what kind of symbiotic relationship?
A parasite?
Yes, indeed. It is parasitic. Absolutely. Taking advantage. One member of the symbiotic pair benefits, the other loses. Thank you, Rachel, for your assist on that. Go red.
Science Potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, now, 25 years after the Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster, when people go back to visit the site, they still have to wear a dosimeter because they are still absorbing what? Still absorbing what? Rogers Heights.
Radiation?
Absolutely right. Radiation is still a major problem over there. People cannot live within hundreds of miles of that nuclear power plant in Russia. All right, you're on the board. Go, Rogers Heights.
Body systems for 10 points.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, astronauts who spend a long time in outer space, their muscles begin to lose their tone. And what body parts begin to demineralize? Glenarden Woods.
Their spine?
More broadly?
Bones.
Bones, absolutely right. Yeah, the skeletal system tends to demineralize. Absolutely. Good elaboration there. Go, Clifford.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, astronomers now think back in 1300, a comet smashed into one of the rings of this famously ringed planet. Glenarden Woods.
Saturn.
Saturn, sure, yes. And now we know that even other planets like Uranus and Neptune have rings, but certainly not as prominent as those on Saturn. All right, where next? Red.
Dateline for 10.
Dateline for 10 points, and that'll be the last of the 10-point questions. Teams, a recently deceased man in England is going to have his corpse bathed in beeswax and resins and oils so that for the first time since the Egyptian pharaohs, his body will be, yes, Glenarden Woods.
Mummified?
Yes, he is being mummified, indeed. All right, you came up with that one very quickly. 115 to 60, advantage still red. Go, Clifford.
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade, 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. In the metamorphosis of a frog or a toad, the tadpole stage represents what stage in metamorphosis? All right, Rogers Heights, that tadpole is the what?
The larva.
You got that right. Nicely done. Got yourself 20 points. Good. Go, Adrian.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, in a bid to save money, some towns are now removing this chemical from the city water supply, a chemical that helps to prevent tooth decay. Glenarden Woods.
Fluoride.
Fluoride, absolutely right. Yes, that is false economy because you're going to have to pay somebody eventually, even though you're saving money at the outset there. All right, nice answer. Go, Red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems, 15 points. Teams, the first ever human body organ grown in a petri dish from someone's own cells is this sac that contains your body's urine. Rogers Heights.
The bladder.
The bladder, yes indeed. And they're making them in small, medium, large, and extra large, depending on the size of the person. All right, you're up to 95 points, not far behind the 130. Adrian, you choose.
Green things for 15 points.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, grafting and budding are forms of asexual reproduction to produce certain kinds of fruits that are lacking these. Rogers Heights.
Seeds.
Seeds, that's right, like a seedless watermelon or seedless grapes. That buzzer means we've come to the end of the first round, and it has been a good one. Look at that score. Glenarden Woods 130, right behind them at 110, Rogers Heights. We'll be back with round 2 of Science Bowl in just a moment. Don't you go away.
You can never know which pool safety step will save a life. Until it does. No matter how safe you feel, adding multiple safety steps can mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Hi, I'm Jordan Sparks, and my I Matter You campaign is all about making a difference, and SOS Children's Villages does just that. I cannot believe how many children SOS has helped around the world by building villages, helping abandoned children, and giving them a mother and house to grow up in. I'm calling on everyone that I know to support SOS in their efforts to help kids at risk of abandonment in countries like Sudan, Vietnam, and Haiti. SOS helps these children over the long term, and you can make a real difference in a child's life. MAD, making a difference. That's what it's all about, and SOS is one of the best. You've got to check them out at sosusa.org.
SOS Children's Villages gives homes and hope to children in need all around the world. Join SOS and Jordan Sparks in making a difference. Visit sosusa.org to learn more.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice to have you with us today. 6 great young people here. Let's find out a little bit more about them and the schools they attend. Let's go first to Glenarden Woods, and a perennial contender here on Science Bowl, and you can see why. 3 great young people. Tell us, first of all, Clifford, about Glenarden Woods. Who's your principal?
Our principal is Cecilia Boulding.
Yes, I know she is so involved in all that you do, and she supports what you're doing here. Who are your sponsors?
Mrs. Stewart, Mrs. Monroe, and Miss Wright.
Wow, so it was a real you almost had a sponsor for each of the contestants here. Are there any alternates on your team, Clifford?
Yes, Chinelo Ebo and John Olojo.
And we'll bring them out in just a few moments with your sponsors so everyone can meet them. Tell me what you like about your school. I know there's a lot to like about Glenarden Woods, but if you had to pick one thing.
Well, I really like the feast and the fact that they take the 6th graders to North Bay.
North Bay, and North Bay is like an environmental center up near Baltimore, and it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, it's just it's a place you don't want to leave. Tell me about yourself, Clifford. What do you hope to do someday?
I want to be a chemist.
Chemist, yeah. How'd you get interested?
Well, because of all the things you can do with science and answering questions that people may ask you.
Yeah, and chemistry is the basis of so much of what happens, not just in chemistry, but in engineering and so many other science fields. So I know you'll be successful at it. Rachel, nice to have you here. Young lady who's a musician. You play the violin and the piano.
Yes.
How long have you played both of those?
For the violin, I started when I was 10, and for the piano, when I was 7.
Wow. You practice them both equally?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you hope to be a professional musician someday?
Hope so.
Well, you've made a very good start. If you're not practicing, what are you doing?
I like to mostly draw and read.
And read. What do you like to read?
It can be anything as long as it's not too boring.
Yeah, an omnivorous reader, but it's got to keep your attention. Yeah, a very adult attitude. Nice to have you with us, Rachel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Eod, nice to have you here. Tell me about yourself. You're an athletic guy. You play soccer, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you play on an organized team or just with the guys in the neighborhood?
Organized team.
What's the name of the team?
It's Greenbelt Raiders.
Wonderful. All right. And if you're not playing soccer, what are you doing?
I usually play other sports like basketball and football, or play video games.
Yeah, it's not like a normal guy to me. And you know an awful lot about science. Where do you come by all your science knowledge?
My dad is
Does he work in science himself?
Yeah.
So
he works at a pharmacy, and he's the person who makes the compounds, and he teaches me a lot about science.
I bet he does. I know he must be very proud of you. And pharmacy is a lot of chemistry. Clifford, there's another profession that you might consider. And what do you want to do someday? Yeah.
I want to be a lawyer.
A lawyer. All right. Good luck to you in that. And Rogers Heights, nice to have you guys here in your matching sweatshirts over there. Tell me about Rogers Heights. Who's your sponsor, Adrian? Actually, you have 2 sponsors, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Who are they?
Miss Brown and Mr. Carter.
Wonderful. And they're both here. We're going to bring them out in just a few moments, and they do such a great job getting you guys ready for this competition. Any alternates on your team?
Yes, one, Robert Coleman.
And Robert is waiting in the wings. He's trying to telepathically send you answers from the other room. I know how that works. Tell me about yourself. What do you like to do in your spare time?
I like to read. I like to go on the computer and, of course, watch the Science Bowl. And I also play the violin.
Wow. So you and Cindy both are musicians that way. And thank you for the Science Bowl plug. We appreciate that you like our show. And someday, what are you going to do, Adrian?
I want to be a surgeon.
Yeah. And I know you're interested in all that education that it's going to take. And Cindy, you too want to go into medicine, don't you? How'd you get interested in medicine, Cindy?
I just like to help people, like, get better and get more healthy.
Yeah, because if you don't have your health in life, you don't have very much. Healthy people can do so many things, and boy, that's the right reason to go into medicine. Tell me what you do in your spare time.
I like to read a lot, and I also like to play my clarinet.
Play your clarinet, yeah. So a lot of musicians up here today. And that means you've got a lot of good discipline. You're telling yourself you've got to do this, that, and the other to be successful, which you obviously are because you're here. What do you want to do someday, Cindy?
I want to be a doctor.
A doctor. Well, of course, we were talking about that before. Any kind of specialist?
I also would like to be a pediatrician.
Yeah, for the little kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you'd be good with little children. And Uziel, tell us about yourself. You're a soccer player too, aren't you?
Yes.
And a football player. And any other sports?
Basketball sometimes.
Basketball. That's great. So you're a scholar athlete. How do you know so much about science?
Well, when I was in second grade, I actually went to science camp.
And that got you interested. That was kind of an important event in your life. And that's great. All right, well, it's good to have you with us. And we're getting it back into the competition now. Rogers Heights 110, Glenarden 130. Last correct answer came from the green team. So, Adrian, lots of high-powered points to give away over there. Where do we go?
Zoo Parade for 25 points.
Zoo Parade for 25. We go to the big one in that category. Teams, what E initial term did Charles Darwin come up with to explain how? Glenarden Woods.
Evolution.
Evolution is right. How animals change over the course of time and how they change to fit different environments and circumstances. All right. You jumped on that one right away. Where next? Clifford.
Potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, what kind of invisible light are we afraid of because it can cause skin? Glenarden Woods.
UV light.
UV light, ultraviolet, yes, the UVA and UVB. That's why these new sunscreens have to protect against both, because they are both cancer-causing kinds of radiation. Go, Red.
Dateline for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, Peanuts Snoopy probably never knew Charles Darwin, but he would have liked him because Charles Darwin's ship was named the HMS what? Glenarden Woods.
Snoopy?
Not Snoopy, no. Peanuts Snoopy probably would have liked Charles Darwin because he called his ship the HMS what?
Canine?
Good try. Beagle. The HMS Beagle, because Snoopy was a beagle. All right. Good answers. Sorry, no points that time. Go, Red.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, in an effort to curb the appeal of junk food, there was a proposal to take the cartoon characters off cereal boxes like Toucan Sam and Tony the Rogers Heights.
Tiger.
The tiger, that's right. Those frosted flakes. What would they be without Tony? Go, Green.
Science Potpourri for 20 points.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, if you have a baby turtle or a pet lizard at home, always wash your hands after handling them, because both of them carry what bacterium? Glenarden Woods.
Salmonella.
Salmonella, absolutely right, yes. A threat that we never knew about years ago. Go, Clifford.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if you're thinking you want to say something, but then you think better of it, the phrase is, bite your what? Rogers Heights.
Tongue.
Bite your tongue, absolutely right. Just discretion, the better part of valor there. Go, Green.
Green things for 20 points.
Green things for 20. Teams, your question is as follows. What D-initialed term is used for the taming of sheep and pigs and goats and Glenarden Woods?
Domestication.
Domestication it is, absolutely right. And I was about to say we have also done that with potatoes. We domesticated them, the South Americans did, 3500 BC. Now there are 700 varieties of domesticated potatoes. Nicely done. Go, Glenarden Woods.
Potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Michelle Obama, First Lady, is trying to get children to not eat as much sucrose and sodium chloride, which means what two simple things should be reduced? Glenarden Woods.
Salt and sugar.
Salt and sugar, absolutely right. Sodium chloride, the salt, and sucrose, the sugar. Go, Red.
Let's get physical for 5.
Get physical for 5 points. Teams, you can ride down a grassy slope on a cafeteria tray because there's very little what force between them, Rogers Heights?
Friction.
That's right, friction. Good answer. All right. Green, you're back at it. Go.
Green things for 25 points.
Green things for 25. That's the way to play the game. The big question in that category, teams, what E-initialed catalytic chemical is used in our bodies to digest food and in plants to perform photosynthesis? Rogers Heights. Yes, sir. Any idea? Sorry that you rang in, Glenarden Woods. Can you give me the name of the E-initialed catalytic type chemical that is used in our bodies for digestion and that plants use for photosynthesis?
Could I pass it to Rachel?
You may indeed.
Endorphins?
Endorphins was a good try. Enzymes. Enzymes is what we use. All right, good try there. Go again. Green.
Let's get physical for 20 points.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Steve, look at the monitor in the studio, please, for this question. What you're looking at now is something called Archimedes' screw. It is used for flood control. It spins and it takes flood water down at the bottom and takes it back up to the top where it can be disposed of. My question to you is a multiple choice question. Is that Archimedes' screw an example of a simple machine that is a lever, a wheel and axle? Clifford?
A lever?
Not a lever. Rogers Heights, is the Archimedes screw an example of a simple machine that is a lever, a wheel and axle, or an inclined plane?
Wheel and axle.
It's the one neither of you chose. It is an inclined plane because it is moving something uphill. A screw is actually a very modified kind of inclined plane. Try again, green.
Body systems for 20 points, please.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, the two sides of your brain, the right and left side, have what same name as the east and west side of the planet Earth? Glenarden Woods.
Hemisphere?
Hemispheres, that's right. The right hemisphere, the left hemisphere, the eastern hemisphere, and the western hemisphere. Go red.
Dateline for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, the Nobel Prize in Physics this year went to a group of men who said that the universe is still expanding long after what sound? Rogers Heights?
The Big Bang.
The Big Bang, that's right. Uziel, he knew that one right away. Go green. Yes, sir.
Body systems for 25 points.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, if you have sickle cell anemia, you have red blood cells that are bent and they can't get through blood vessels. What makes them bent is because this H-initial substance inside the red... Glenarden Woods.
Hemoglobin?
Hemoglobin. That's the part that's actually twisted. Yes, indeed. Nice play in there, Glenarden Woods. Go again.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, Nissan's new electric car is named for... Yes, Glenarden Woods?
The Nissan Leaf.
It is the Nissan Leaf. Yes, I was about to tell you these are the little solar panels that are found on all plants. You didn't even need that. Go. Yes.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Scientists now say that taking vitamins every day is actually doing you no good. It may even be harmful to you. But they say that women should still take these kinds of supplements. Glenarden Woods.
May I pass it to Iad?
You may.
Estrogen.
Again?
Estrogen.
Estrogen?
No, estrogen.
Estrogen, not estrogen. Good try. Good try. Women should still take these kinds of supplements that are important for strong bones. What do you think, guys? Calcium. Calcium is what we're looking for there. All right, 3 questions left. Clifford, choose.
Let's get physical for 25.
Get physical for 25 points. Teams, a generator that converts mechanical energy to electrical energy has the same name as the Decepticons and the Autobots that we see. Glenarden Woods.
Transformers.
Transformers, that's what they are. Yes, where?
Science potpourri for 25.
Let's turn out the light first over here for the red team. Thank you. Clifford again, please.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25. Teams, an autopsy is when a coroner looks at a dead body to find out the cause of death. What similar sounding B-initialed word is looking at a live body? Glenarden Woods.
Biopsy.
Again?
Biopsy.
Judges? Not quite. Nope. Rogers Heights, what is it when a doctor looks at a living person to see what cause of disease might be inside? A B-initialed word that sounds like autopsy.
Biopsy.
Biopsy is absolutely right. Yes. Last question of the game. Dateline for 25 points. Here it is, teams. In 2014, we will be using compact fluorescent bulbs, no more incandescents, and we will be measuring the bulbs in strength by lumens and not by what units that we now use. Clifford?
Watts.
Watts is absolutely right. And with that, we've come to the end of our Science Bowl. And it looks like Glenarden Woods has done it. We'll be back with a final tally in just a moment. Don't go away.
Because play might be the best way to fight obesity.
Because staying connected makes my family stronger, healthier, and happier.
Because a safe place after school can lead to success in school.
Because physical activity is vital to my health and well-being.
Because I need to make my world better.
Because playing team sports teaches the character and social skills that build leaders.
Because learning with others makes for a greater understanding.
Because we need each other.
Because we need each other.
Because we need each other.
And welcome back to Science Bowl. Hope you enjoyed this game at home as much as we did here in the studio. Everybody is a winner on Science Bowl because these young ambassadors really acquitted themselves and represented their school so well. Our final tally today is Rogers Heights 155, Glenarden Woods 315. Congratulations, Rachel and Clifford and Ia. You can smile, guys. You guys won the game today. And look back there. We've got a number of people on the shadow team. Say hello to Chanello and to John, and also Miss Monroe and Miss Stewart. Thank you for all the work you did. We'll see you in the next round. I want to see some smiles over here. You guys played a super game. You never gave up. Cindy and Adrian and Uzi will give yourselves a hand. You did a great job. And Robert, I know you knew some of those answers too. You were trying to send that message through. And Adrian's mom is back there. She's here to support her son. And that Miss Simango, thank you for being here. Miss Brown and Mr. Carter, thank you for all you did. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Science Bowl. Bye-bye now.